Communication consists of listening, speaking, observing, and empathy. Listening is a basic part of communication process. Therefore, it is essential to possess good listening skill in order to gain proper understanding and give fair judgment. Hello everyone, I welcome you to my channel, Ideal Brains Education. Here I talk about topics that encourage personal development. If you don't listen, you won't understand. Talking about listening skill. Listening is one of the essential skills in communication. It is the ability to receive and interpret information in a communication process. Basically, listening process consists of receiving, understanding, evaluating, remembering, and responding. You see that it takes 5 stages. When you receive an information, you try as much as possible to understand that information, or you are patient enough to understand the information. Then you evaluate that information based on your understanding of the information. Probably, if you have forgotten a piece of the information, you also try as much as possible to remember. Then you respond. You see that these are the 5 stages involved in a listening process. But for some persons, it doesn't take uh, these stages. It doesn't take up to 5 stages. It takes about 2 stages for some persons. They receive and respond immediately without understanding and evaluating that information. So if you fall into this category, you're actually a bad listener. You must evaluate an information before you respond to that information. Now, do you want to know if you are a bad listener? How do you know if you are a bad listener? All right, pay attention to these signs that I'm going to talk about. Sign number one, you often ask people to repeat themselves. Let me take you know, being a good listener requires you to pay attention. It requires you to be focused. It requires you to be attentive. If you are attentive, so there might not be need, or rather, it may not be needful of you to ask people to repeat themselves. That is you being attentive. Sign number two, you often interrupt people during a communication process. Let me take a seminar for instance. Probably you are in a seminar and a speaker is delivering a topic. Then you have a different opinion as regards what the speaker is talking about, or you want to ask a question. Then you are not patient enough. You stand up and you're like, okay, I want to ask this. I have a different opinion. That is you interrupting a communication process, and it's not a good um, sign that you are a good listener. It's not a sign that you're a good listener. Rather, it showcases that you are a bad listener. Sign number three, you talk while others are talking. Well, this sign number three is quite different from sign number two. Sign number two is that you interrupt. Sign number three is you talking while others are talking. This is more like you are distracting yourself during the communication process, and you are also distracting others. What you are talking about may be regarded or may relate to the communication that is going on, or may not relate to it, but however, you are distracting yourself and you are distracting others, and it is a symptom that you are a bad listener. Sign number four, you draw conclusion before the end of the communication process. You know, conclusions are being drawn uh, based on the information that you receive. If you have not received a full information, like a complete information, and you draw conclusion on that information, it's also not good. It's not a sign that you're a good listener, because there might be a part of that information, a fraction of the information that is going to come at the end of the communication, that you may need to draw your conclusion. Then you miss out of that piece of information because you were not patient enough to wait till the end of the communication before drawing your conclusion. So that shows that you're a bad listener. Sign number five, you let your emotion come in between your communication, your listening ability. This is more like Okay, let me take for instance, there's an information that you need. Then, because you don't like the source that the information is coming from, or you don't like the person giving out that information, you're like, I won't listen. I won't listen. I don't think I need that information. Just because you don't like the person giving out the information, or you don't like the source that the information is coming from. So that is a big sign, is a symptom that you're a bad listener. So if you actually fall victim of those signs that I listed, don't worry. All you need to do is to improve your listening skill. I'm going to show you how you can improve your listening skill. But before then, I will quickly highlight the importance of listening skill so you know. Good listening skill reduces judgment, it builds empathy. Empathy is also a part of communication process. It has to do with understanding other people's emotional state or understanding their point of view during a communication process. Yes, having a good listening skill helps you to empathize with people during a communication process if necessary. So it also helps you to reduce misunderstanding. So you understand more if you're a good listener compared to a bad listener. It enhances a leadership skill. It also builds uh, it builds productivity. It increases productivity. Yes, it does. To improve on your leadership, to improve on your listening skill, try as much as possible not to interrupt during a communication process. Then maintain eye contact with a speaker or with the speaker. Probably let's me take for instance a seminar. Probably you are attending a seminar, and during the seminar you are trying to listen to what the speaker is talking about. Try as much as possible to maintain eye contact with that speaker, because it helps. It also makes the speaker, or it gives the speaker the mentality that somebody is listening to what he's saying, and it also helps you to concentrate. And you concentrate, it means you are going to get the information right. That makes you a good listener. Also, try to understand body language. Also try to understand body language. It is very important in speaking. Most times it could be in listening. It's also good for you to pay attention to non-verbal. Yes, non-verbal form. You have verbal, like speaking out. Then you have non-verbal. Example is your body language, the speaker's body language. Sometimes informations are being sent, or informations are being given out through the verbal process, or and also the non-verbal. You can use body languages. So understanding body languages is an advantage for you. It makes you to understand what the speaker is actually talking about. Then you can also practice. Practice, they say, makes perfect. Yes, you can practice by reading a book that talks about improving your listening skill or communication process as a whole. You can listen to an audio or also watch a video that talks about improving your listening skill. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Just click on that subscribe icon. All right, thank you very much. See you next time.